With a long-awaited X-Men movie in development for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU, here's everything that has been confirmed about this major superhero team. The movie rights to the X-Men initially belonged to 20th Century Fox, starting with Bryan Singer's X-Men in 2000 and concluding with the New Mutants in 2020. Over the course of 20 years, the X-Men franchise produced both outstanding films and some that were less well received. However, the mutants are now back home at Marvel following Disney's acquisition of Fox's entertainment assets. Although the deal was finalized in 2019, Marvel Studios has not rushed to introduce the X-Men. While several mutants have appeared in various MCU movies and TV shows, the X-Men themselves have yet to be officially mentioned. However, as things begin to align, it appears that Marvel Studios' plans for the X-Men are gradually becoming clearer. Marvel's X-Men latest news. Kevin Feige discussed the importance of the characters. Deadline has reported that, following the WGA strikes, the search for writers to develop the script for the upcoming MCU X-Men movie is now active. Pitch meetings started in fall 2023. Although no details about the writers or the outcomes of the pitch process have been released, it seems that progress is being made behind the scenes. Kevin Feige discussed the X-Men in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU, during an interview with Omelete, via Discussing Film. He emphasized their significance in the narrative moving forward, stating, "On the road to Secret Wars, we already have a clear idea of what the story will entail leading up to it and beyond. The X-Men will play a crucial role in that future. There is a possibility that some mutants, such as Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool or Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, could make appearances in Avengers: Secret Wars. However, it is more likely that they will be officially introduced in Phase 7, after the multiverse saga concludes." Marvel's X-Men confirmed. The arrival of the X-Men will happen. Despite numerous Easter eggs and hints throughout the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU, suggesting the arrival of the X-Men, Kevin Feige has been vague about when and how they will be introduced. It is confirmed that the X-Men will eventually join the MCU, but the timeline for this is still uncertain. Professor X and Beast have made cameo appearances in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness and The Marvels, respectively. However, it's unclear how, or if, these appearances will connect to the X-Men's first standalone film in the MCU. Additionally, mutants were confirmed to exist in the MCU during the Ms. Marvel TV series. Where does the X-Men movie fit in the MCU slate? They likely won't show up until after Secret Wars. No release date has been announced for Marvel's X-Men, but it is most likely that they won't officially enter the MCU until after Avengers: Secret Wars. This film will serve as the conclusion to the MCU's multiverse saga, which began in 2021. Given the nature of Secret Wars, it could lead to a soft reboot of the MCU, making it the perfect opportunity for the X-Men to make their debut and usher in a new era for Marvel after nearly 2 decades of continuous storytelling. If the X-Men are introduced after Avengers: Secret Wars, it raises questions about their release date. Secret Wars is set to premiere on May 7, 2027, and Marvel Studios has scheduled release dates for both July and November 2027. This suggests that the X-Men could likely be released on one of those dates. Marvel's X-Men cast. The likes of Deadpool, Wolverine, and Namor are all possible. There is limited information regarding the characters and actors involved in the upcoming MCU X-Men movie. While Deadpool and Wolverine introduced these heroes into the MCU, they did not remain in the MCU by the film's conclusion. Additionally, Kelsey Grammer's Beast made a brief appearance at the end of The Marvels. However, since this cameo occurs in another reality, it remains uncertain whether he will join the main MCU storyline. Furthermore, Iman Vellani's Ms. Marvel is identified as a mutant in the MCU, but she appears to be on a path to lead the Young Avengers for the time being. If the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU, opts for a soft reboot following Avengers: Secret Wars, it is likely that a new cast will be chosen for the X-Men film, featuring fresh actors to portray these iconic characters. Given that the MCU tends to draw more inspiration from the comics compared to the earlier X-Men films produced by Fox, we might see a classic lineup of characters in their first film. This team could include Beast, Marvel Girl, Cyclops, Angel, and Iceman, with Charles Xavier presumably leading them. Namor is the antagonist in Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and he is a confirmed mutant. While he may not align with the X-Men as he has in other Marvel stories, such as those involving the Fantastic Four, it is still a possibility that he could make an appearance. Marvel's X-Men story details. Nothing is confirmed of now. No story details have been released for the upcoming Marvel X-Men movie, but one significant challenge the MCU faces is explaining where the X-Men have been prior to their introduction. Since the X-Men include a mix of both younger and older heroes, it seems unlikely that they will be newly formed within the MCU's Earth 616. However, with the possibilities offered by the multiverse saga, the X-Men might come from another reality where they are already established. The multiverse saga presents exciting opportunities for the X-Men to emerge from an alternate reality where they are already established. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness set a precedent for superhero teams from different realities, showcasing the Illuminati, which notably included Professor X as one of its members. A compelling hook for the X-Men story in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU, may involve Monica Rambeau being trapped in another reality alongside Beast, a superpowered variant of her mother, and a referenced but unseen Professor X. How the MCU has set up the X-Men. The Marvels was the biggest hint. Hints and clues about the X-Men have been scattered throughout the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU. Thanks to the Ms. Marvel television series, mutants have now been officially confirmed in the MCU. In the series finale, Ms. Marvel discovers that the source of her powers is a mutation, which is highlighted by a nod to the X-Men, the animated series theme song. Additionally, Namor is a well-established mutant in the mainline MCU. As previously mentioned, Professor X and Beast have also made appearances. However, Professor X is killed by the Scarlet Witch, and Beast is currently in another reality. Note: X-Men 97, the sequel to the 1992 series X-Men, the animated series, is Marvel Studios' first project featuring the X-Men. However, this animated series on Disney Plus is not part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU. In Deadpool and Wolverine, several characters from Fox were successfully integrated into the MCU, but their time there was brief, as most either died or returned to their original universes by the end of the film. The exceptions were Wolverine and Laura. The MCU's willingness to include various X-Men characters in the film is encouraging for the future of the team. It is clear that the X-Men will be a significant priority for the MCU when they finally make their appearance. Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool and Hugh Jackman's Wolverine are likely to continue their journeys in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU, with possible appearances in Avengers: Secret Wars. Kevin Feige has expressed interest in including them in various projects. If the MCU undergoes a soft reboot of the universe after that film, many of the mutants already introduced could become outdated. However, the introduction of these characters is still significant, as it has helped familiarize audiences with mutants in the main continuity. Every X-Men character already in the MCU. There's more than a dozen. Kamala Khan, aka Ms. Marvel, appeared on Ms. Marvel series and The Marvels. Namor appeared on Black Panther. Wakanda Forever. Charles Xavier, aka Professor X, appeared on Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Mr. Immortal appeared on She-Hulk, Attorney at Law series. Ella Giller appeared on She-Hulk, Attorney at Law series. Hank McCoy, aka Beast, appeared on The Marvels. Wade Wilson, aka Deadpool, appeared on Deadpool and Wolverine. James Logan Howlett, aka Wolverine, appeared on Deadpool and Wolverine. Negasonic Teenage Warhead appeared on Deadpool and Wolverine. Shatterstar appeared on Deadpool and Wolverine. Colossus appeared on Deadpool and Wolverine. Gambit appeared on Deadpool and Wolverine, and X-23 appeared on Deadpool and Wolverine. Several X-Men characters are already part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU, ahead of the team's solo movie. Notably, Professor X, Beast, Namor, and Ms. Marvel have all made appearances in the MCU. Additionally, other X-Men characters exist in the MCU, aligned with the comics. Ella Giller and Mr. Immortal made cameos in She-Hulk. Furthermore, the cast of Deadpool and Wolverine features several cameos from previous Deadpool and X-Men movies, but the film concludes with Wade Wilson and Logan in Wade's universe. Nonetheless, There remains a possibility that they could return in future MCU projects.